compulsively all the time. That is to say, we talk to ourselves. If I talk all the time, I don't hear what anyone else has to say. If I think all the time, that is to say, if I talk to myself all the time, I don't have anything to think about except thoughts. And therefore, I'm living entirely in the world of symbols. Therefore, if you meditate for an ulterior motive, that is to say, to improve your mind, to improve your character, to be more efficient in life, you've got your eye on the future and you are not meditating. Well, meditation, when correctly done, has nothing to do with all that. It's a kind of digging the present. It's a kind of grooving with the eternal now. The place where it's at is simply here and now. If you simply close your eyes and allow yourself to hear all the sounds that are going on around you, just listen to the general hum and buzz of the world as if you were listening to music. Don't try to identify the sounds you're hearing. Don't put names on them. Simply allow them to play with your eardrums. It's all just sound. And if I am talking to you right now and you're doing this, don't try to make any sense out of what I'm saying, because your brain will take care of that automatically. You don't have to try to understand everything. As you hear sounds coming up in your head, thoughts, you simply listen to them as part of the general noise going on, just as you would be listening to the sound of my voice, or just as you would be listening to cars going by or to birds chattering outside the window. So look at your own thoughts as just noises. And soon you will find that the so-called outside world and the so-called inside world come together. They are a happening. Your thoughts are a happening, just like the sounds going on outside. And everything is simply a happening, and all you're doing is watching it. It's all just sound. The place where it's at is simply here and now.
All right, what is up, guys? We're back in the studio finally after about almost 6 weeks. Wow, probably is a total of 6 weeks. Pretty crazy, pretty crazy. So we're back. We're officially back here for now. And yeah, I mean, it looks like, you know, in this trade, if you want info on the take profit and the stop loss, the link to the Discord is down below. I think there's a good shot that we come down farther. Most likely we should come down farther based on how a lot of, you know, on Bitcoin, based on Ethereum. I'm, you know, getting used to East Coast time again. Been back for about almost 24 hours now. So it's really like 10 p.m. for me on Southeast Asia time. So yeah, and a little bit nasally, you know, a little bit. That 16-hour flight, man, that thing just feels like it would never end. I think it was actually 15 hours, but it just feels like it never ends. Wow. But yeah, and so let's see here. Yeah, I mean, look, it's yeah, right to that point. I mean, it's more bearish. I mean, I think a high anchor wave on the 2-week is always going to be a bit more bearish, guys. A high anchor wave on the 2-week is always going to be more bearish. What's up, Matt Ford? What's up, Brian? And I mean, if I had to guess here, I absolutely could be wrong. I would be a little bit more confident on it after we kind of confirm this, this trigger wave. Something's beeping. Okay. That's okay. After we confirm this trigger wave on the daily to the downside, I'd be a little bit more confident on that. Obviously, anything could happen. I mean, we are making higher lows here. And, you know, ultimately, if we break upward, you're looking around 80 Gs. If we break downward, obviously 50 something. I think most likely we'll break downward, similar to the halving in 2016. Always appreciate if you guys smash the like button. A little bit of a lower turnout on this this Friday morning here, so always appreciate that. I gotta get some more energy. So yeah, and let's see here. Kind of want to bring this desk up, but I think that's going to screw everything up. Something's going to fall out of place if I bring that. I want to stand up, but it's probably going to keep something out of place. So yeah. Let's see. Trigger wave kind of to the downside there in the 4 hour. Yeah, it looks bearish, guys. It does look, and the macro too. I mean, you can't argue with that 2 week. The Asian ETF, I don't even know about that on Bitcoin. Well, we'll see. Ryan. Oh man. gotta calm down there. Interest is getting a little bit less. You know, we ain't doing much. We're at the same price we were in March, so it's about a month of nothingness. Way more of a good scalp traders market. That's kind of what I've been doing, more of those day or scalp trades just off of SR points. And I mean, this one looks pretty good too on that 12. If we do get right there to there, the 12 hour. ETH as well here. I mean, trigger, that daily is atrocious. I mean, you came up to, fight everybody off trying to short this blood diamond, but I mean, it's yeah. Hong Kong. I think those might be more sell the news. I mean, the original Bitcoin ETF was to sell the news in the beginning. We did come down a little bit, and then we made new all-time highs. So, yeah. Let's see here. So, yeah, it'll probably, I mean, it's a Friday. That's another thing that makes this confidence a little bit less with the, with any trade, I think, just because as you get coming to the weekend, it's a little bit tougher. But it does look, it does look more bearish. It does look a little bit more bearish. A couple important ones that we want to look at here. Total 3 minus Tether, versus Bitcoin. That's another one that's, it originally had a strong case to be made for bouncing off of here and continuing upward. Still does to a certain extent, but it's, it's a little bit less of the trigger wave gap to RSIs to the downside. Gap to RSIs to the downside there. So, yeah. And let's see here. Let's see. Siri always going off on my watch. Apple Watch. If you break down, you're looking at that point. That could be a potential. And you might, you definitely might until the Fed app actually pivots. I still think it'll be June. And the reason why I think it'll be June is just because I think everything's going to come down. And that's going to make, the Fed more confident in, trying to pivot. And if we look at the SPY right here, this is what we need to, you know, come down some. We need this to, come on, you know, bear div, yeah. That could easily bring us down back below 500. I think if you're at 480 or below in June, the Fed will pivot. I think so. I think that's all we need. If this comes down, theoretically, inflation probably will come down as well, making it okay for, you know, for the Fed to pivot. Now, let's look at some big oil. I don't know. This could be somewhat of an inflationary marker. Now, yeah, this may follow the S&P 500 on the way down. If we look here, pretty significant area. You know, you could come up higher, but, you know, pretty significant area here. You reject from that, you come back down to 60-something into June. Maybe it'll take a little bit longer than that. That may be enough because the Fed over here, you know, these areas in 23 was more like when we started the pause. That was good enough. And what does the pause lead to if things continue? That leads to a rate cut. It would make sense to see a rate cut. And I think that the second half of this year, I think we're going to stay, I mean, if I had to guess, I don't know, but I think we're going to stay bearish until June, and then July going forward for the end of this year will generally be bullish. I think most of those months will be green for the S&P 500 as well as crypto, That's my 2 Satoshis on it right now. And, you know, if we look at Bitcoin dominance here, I don't know. I mean, it's tough to say. You have, you know, arguments to be made on both sides. It does look like you'd continue assuming the market does come down. Where'd you end up? I mean, at this rate, you'd probably hit that 57 by June. Fed pivots, then we come down. I don't know. It's just a guess. Just an educated guess. Looks like we're coming down a little bit more right now, as I've been kind of predicting here. So, yeah. And just want to look at, see right there, right to that point. Money flow coming up. So that looks decent. I don't know why I'm looking at Zcash, but some of these alts, man, yeah, some of these alts. I just want to look at the Bitcoin. When we're in an uptrend, we're looking at ETH pairs because we're getting greedy. We want to sell our ETH for something. When we're starting to get nervous, when we could come down, we're looking at Bitcoin pairs. Some of these are ugly. I mean, I've been DCAing this since like October. It did bleed against Bitcoin, but I like Matic, so that's that. You know, some of them are, you know, Ben Cowan was right about this. I don't think anybody, including him, predicted a Bitcoin new all-time high so soon, but he was right. And I mean, we could theoretically come down all the way to 0.04 and still form this gigantic freaking, you know, head and shoulders here for ETH versus Bitcoin. So I think we're just in that trend. That's going to take time, though. I mean, it may, yeah, it moves quickly. I mean, look at that jump up right there. You come down, you bottom out around June, July, then you come right back up. I think you got a good shot of getting up to that place over there, 3x against Bitcoin or something. So, yeah. And, by the way, guys, if you want to join the Discord, link in the description below. A lot of really good trade subs in there. Me, Crypto Bulldome, and KMac are in there. And if you want one free month in Discord, if you sign up to any of the links down below to exchanges, deposit at least $100, I'll give you one free month. Just go into the Discord in the support ticket area, open support ticket with your UID, and I'll get you sorted. So yeah, curious about like some of these. I mean, Cardano, Bitcoin. Yeah, it's not, it ain't as good as some of us thought this would bottom out against Bitcoin. Nope, not yet. We could come all the way back down here potentially. I kind of don't think you're going to come all the way back down there, but, you know, we look at just that trigger wave. Do we have anything to compare here? I don't know. You could look at like that. I mean, compare it to kind of that area from that high or something. Jeez, yeah, you could come down. But the thing is, those big moves, guys, look at this. I mean, this could happen quickly. Don't, some of y'all will be asleep later this year, and then you come right up. So, bleed 50% against Bitcoin potentially, but then you're, 900%. So, yeah. Onions. I think Soloway and Cowan are going to start to get more respect, especially as this market. It's my prediction. If this market comes down, both of them are going to start to get more respect. I don't follow either of them too much, other than like Cowan saying, you know, stuff is going to bleed against Bitcoin, and he's generally been right. You know, he's generally been right, so I do commend him for that. You know, he's sticking to his guns there. The man's been in it, you know, for a long time. He's learned from a lot of mistakes. A lot of mistakes in the market. And the weekly there. Yeah, higher anchor wave. I mean, look, we got to be objective. That's a weekly high freaking. That's the highest anchor wave we have ever, at least on this chart. You know, most of these bring you down more than it's come down so far. Most of these would easily bring you down back to 4 something. That's what I would estimate here. Will I check Aptos? Been bleeding a lot, looking for around 10 USD for a bounce. Yeah. Let's see here. Let's see. Aptos. Has it been on a different exchange for longer? When you hit that area, you see something here. I would look at $10 potentially. I mean, if this follows the rest of the market, you're probably going to come down more. I mean, you're probably going to come down to 56% or something easily. The thing for a lot of these guys, if you look at the 4-day, you know, between the 4-day and the weekly, or the 3-day and the weekly, look for this little trigger wave right there. When could that happen? May or June? Buy in May. Sell in May, buy in May. You know, that could be what we're looking at here. That could absolutely be what we're looking at here. So yeah. Geez, let's see. So that was Aptos. And look at what else is there to look at. So it's Aptos. Aptosi. Abdos. STX. Tesla, I don't know. It could bounce, it may not though. Stacks. This in the graph some people have been bullish on. Is that all-time high for that? Yeah, it could be. Wow. Big area though that we need to hold right there. If we lose that area, not too good. Tony Vase was looking for a triangle chart pattern from 2015, 2016. Thinks it's repeating. It could be, Ryan. I think you're right, man. I mean, it's not going to repeat that exactly, but, you know, let's just say where is June? Or let's go on like the daily, I guess. This will probably go into, let's just see, like this will probably go into the red, let's say. Where would that bottom be? Yeah. You know, if you do go into that area, I mean, you're looking at triple of what we've already seen. Oops, I don't know where that went. Let's say from there, let's say 3, 1, 2, or 1, 2, 49K, 50K, yeah. That would be 50K, and then we then we start to fight back. 50K, then we start to fight back. I think that would make a lot of sense here. I think that would make a lot of sense. So yeah. Let's see here. Just trying to think. Solano. Oops. And if we do, I don't know why I was circling more sideways areas. That looks so bad right there. I mean, if there is a sell signal, I mean, it doesn't get any worse than that. That's easily a strong, case to be made for back down to 100 and then potentially even farther. I would guess, if I had to guess, probably high 90s. Yeah, like easily 50%, probably 70% at the most. I don't really think it's going to go down that far. That area right there is big. That wick, let's just draw that out here. That wick is big. Because that's kind of scene of the crime to a certain extent. Yeah, because if Bitcoin goes down, 40%, let's say. Or what is it down? Say we go down to 50, I don't know. That's 30%. What could some of these alts bleed? Probably frickin', 50, 40 to 60, I would say. Potentially. And then there would be just a beautiful place to get into some alts. I want to look at AVAX. Yeah, that looks so bad. Yeah, that weekly, especially high anchor wave. This is a strong sell signal if I've ever seen one. Probably back down to that area. If not, let's just see what that would be. Yeah, 60%. Maybe Bitcoin I could see 30 to 40%, and then alts probably 45 to 60 potentially. Yeah. I think that area, let's just draw the little, where is it? I think it's over here, the rectangle. I think that area is really big, that whole pocket there, and I think you'll probably end up there. So yeah. Anyway, I don't know. There's not too much else to really talk about. I could look at a lot of these alts, but it's just most of them I think are going to stay bearish. Most of them potentially can continue to bleed against Bitcoin. I'd give it, over the next April, May, June, about 3 months. 2 or 3 months probably. And it's probably a good, it's not a bad time if you got into AVAX low to take some profits and potentially try to get back in after we come back down to this pocket or something, or high 30s or whatever. So yeah. Anyway, guys, I think I'm going to wrap it up for now. Maybe I'll come on again like later and do a pre-recorded video. Just not too much else to really talk about. Pretty bearish right now. The short is doing good. If you guys want to talk to me in the Discord, I think like 90%, 80%, or depending on if I'm tired, I'm still kind of jet lagged. I'll do a discussion with you guys who are premium members in the Discord. So check that out, link down below. And again, if you want 1 free month, if you sign up to any of the exchanges down below, deposit, at least $100, I'll give you 1 free month there. So really appreciate you guys tuning in. Hope you guys have an excellent rest of your day. Have a good one, guys. Goodbye. Evan Aldo. Evan Aldo out. Subscribe.